Hi, everyone, and welcome to another amazing episode of Thoughts. Today, we have with us Jamielle Rankine-Kirlew. She's a CEO and creative director of Muma. But before we talk to Jamielle, I just want to remind you about what Thoughts is. Thoughts is our mindful conversation series that we're having around mental health and wellness. I'm your host, Trudy King, and it's coming to you from Empowering Children and Families. We do lots of mental health awareness courses here, and so we just thought we would just bring something from our mental health awareness to life through our series, Thoughts. So we are going to be talking to our beautiful, talented, and innovative guest, Jamielle. Jamielle, welcome to Thoughts.
Oh, well, thank you for the kind words, first of all, and thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Good. We are very happy. We're excited. You know, we don't know that many people with lines in California. So,
Yes.
Jamielle, you are the CEO and creative director of Muma. I really wanted to say Muma, but I just thought, let me just play it down because you're going to
No,
explain to
say it how
everybody
it
what it is.
feels. It's
But who
Muma.
is
Yeah.
Jamielle? Who is Jamielle?
Jamielle. Wow. Jamielle is a woman of many attributes. Jamielle is a woman that is a child of God, a mother, a wife, um, a daughter, a sister, a friend, uh, a creative. Jamielle is a lot of things, and
Right.
as you get to know me, you'll know that. But as we all are, right? But yeah, so that's a little bit about who Jamielle is.
Right. So you wear a lot of hats, a lot of hats. But we've come to know you through your clothing line,
Yes,
Muma.
ma'am.
And when we saw it, we're like, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Did you just wake up and just decided I am, a creative director, I can do clothing? Did you just wake up one morning and decide this is me? I'm into this thing.
I wish. It took lots of trials and errors. But since I was a little girl, my aunt had a sewing machine in the back and she would always sew clothes for our dolls. And I always thought, wow, she could sew. Never cared much for it. Went
Right.
to high school, they taught that in school, didn't care, honestly. And then moved to the States. I've always, though, had creativity in me. I
Right.
come from a family of creatives. My aunt is a video director. She creates videos, Scorpio 21. And I have an uncle, Paul Campbell. He was in Shotters. And dancehall queen. And you know that.
Right.
So I come from a family of like a lot of creative stuff. I've always been very good at expressing myself. Um, but it took me moving to the States and getting into some little hiccups that led me after going into school for marketing, realizing I don't think I want to do that. That led me to doing styling for others. And I
Right.
started styling people in Manhattan. And I would walk around with a suitcase full of clothes trying to sell on the side. I'm like, hey, do you want it? This is like, this young man, brought my Jamaicanness to New York. Nice
Wow.
lady, this is cute.
Wow.
I did that. And I would also speak with people over the phone and just they would tell me ideas of what they want and I would search for it and I would find it for them. And then I had a specific client who wanted something and I could not
Right.
find it. And then I thought, I wish I could make it. And
Mm-hmm.
then the light bulb came on and I thought
Okay.
I could make it. So then I enrolled myself into a sewing class that was like an hour away from where I lived at the time. I took the train in the evenings. And at this time I had my son. He was fairly younger, so dad was very helpful at that time. And I was traveling from Connecticut to Manhattan to this sewing school. And
Right.
at the end of the sewing school, we're supposed to make a skirt. I ended up making multiple things. And then I thought,
Wow.
maybe this is okay, I have something here. Moved to California. Then I enrolled myself into the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, FIDM. And that's just kind of where all these things came up. And MoMA came about through a project that we had to do, a final project. And I wanted to do something that represented my culture. I was a proud Jamaican. Everybody at the school knew this girl was from Jamaica. Jamaican people proud, everywhere we go.
Let me just pause it right there and say,
Yeah,
big up yourself, Jamaica. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep
listen,
going.
so And so I wanted to do something that represented me, who I felt was me. And Muma came to mind. At first, it was Muma Africa. And then that it went into just Muma because I thought it'd be more marketable. Africa made it seem very boxed in. And I didn't want Muma to feel like boxing because I had all these dreams. I've always dreamt big since I was little. My mother always said, you need to act, you know, but it paid off because I'm a big dreamer and I believe I can achieve it through the help of God. And Muma was birthed and it kind of went, as I said, through trials and errors that took me to where I am now.
Wow, right. Normally in thought, you know, while you're talking, I'm thinking so many things. So here's what's coming out at me while you're talking.
Yes.
Creativity can be in your bloodline. Something that it's a natural skill or ability can actually be in your bloodline, in your family. So for somebody saying, oh, I don't know what I should do, and they might want to look around, or it could be that it's you just the only person that has it. But chances are if somebody else in your family have it or you have it, somebody else will just have it as well. Someone else will be there with that gift. So you're seeing that the sewing machine had been sitting looking at you all these years. And then what's really impressive for me is the fact that you decided, okay, I'm worlds away from where I normally am, my natural, normal, what I know habitat. I'm now in Manhattan, but I'm going to do this. And you didn't let the fact that you're in somewhere now, new, different, strange, stop you from when you realize, okay, I could do this. And it's quite impressive with that suitcase story because most people would not want to even do anything like that. But we're now understanding that, you know, sometimes those small beginnings are the important ones. Absolutely. And then you had your light bulb moment and think, I could actually, and we thank that one client. We want to thank that one client wanted something that wasn't there. And you didn't say, what I like about it, Jamielle, you didn't say, no, I don't have it. That's it, go to somebody else. Thank you for that, because Muma wouldn't have been born. It wouldn't have been born. You said, okay, right, how can I fix this? And I just want you to explain to those who are watching exactly what Muma is in terms of the actual word and what it means.
So Muma is a Jamaican dialect. Or patois. We speak patois in Jamaica, broken English. And Muma is used mainly you would find it in, I guess you can say, more low-income communities where you'd probably hear in the country, where you hear Muma, right? Why Muma? Your Muma call you. Look at you, you know, like you really find it there. And so I know it was a word that isn't like when you mentioned when you heard it, you want to say Muma, right? Because that's what we know it as. It's like
it's powerful.
It's a boisterous word. But I wanted to take something like that and make it luxury and make it beautiful, because who's to say what beautiful is to look like or luxury is to look like? You know, that's just things taught to us. I think a lot of the times we think glitz and glam is beauty and luxury, and there's so much richness in a home that is small because there's love in there and there's laughter. And I think that is what I wanted to remind people. And I guess I went deep with it, but that's kind of where Muma, why I wanted to call it Muma. So that is what Muma is in Jamaica. And as a line, Muma is a culturally inspired line. I don't take things very literal. I like to, even the name concept is kind of how I design. So I like to make very minimalistic, but still very powerful, strong pieces, elegant, easy to wear for every body type. I hand sew every piece myself, and I source my fabrics myself. It's a one-man show. Here or there, I'll hire some freelancers, but it's me, and it's something I really care about. And so every piece I've touched, and I care about the woman who I'm making it for. And that's what I want Muma to feel. I want it to feel like a high-end luxury brand, but a small family home feel. Yeah.
So for those who are watching and are not familiar with the dialect term, Muma means mother in patois.
Yes.
And so when I said I wanted to say Muma, it's the motherly strength that comes behind it. And for me, what Jamielle has done is, because it's she infuses so many other different cultures in it, she's decided to take that strength of a mother, whatever the culture, and just represent that. And if you're a mother whether you are a biological mother, any kind of mother, adopted, whatever mother, you are a mother. And your culture doesn't stop you from being a mother. So this
And
is
if
what
you
the
love
Muma
your
line
mother, because
represents.
I've been designing for men now, and I want men to
Right.
know, if you love your mother, Muma is a
Yeah,
Muma boy,
that's
right?
right.
And represent it, and he's a Muma woman and a Muma child. Like
That's
Muma
right.
has, I have so much goals for it. So I'm excited about what God will do.
Yes, we are
Yeah.
too. We are absolutely excited. So you are the creative director. You have staff as and when you need them, and you're a mom, and you're a wife, and you do other things, and so you're quite busy. I know from running, from when somebody's running a business, especially the fact that you take such great care in looking at your pieces and doing them yourself, that has to be a lot of pressure put on you, a lot of pressure in your everyday life to get to meet your clients' needs, to satisfy them. And so many things come into play when you're running a business. So what here we're focusing on, so in order to do that, you have to be okay. Your mental health and your wellness has to be okay. With all that you're doing and with the pressure on you to do that, how do you take care of your mental health?
How do I take care of my mental health? Um, I take care of my mental health by communicating a lot, whether it be to my husband about what's bothering me, what's weighing heavy on me,
Right.
what's this voice that's keep coming back. You know, that one thing, that what multiple things that might keep recurring thoughts that sometimes weigh on your heart. And I talk to my husband. I have really good friends that I can confide in, that I speak to.
Mhm.
So trust is necessary to help with my mental health.
Mhm.
I speak a lot to God. As I mentioned, I'm a child of God, and that's really where a lot of my peace comes from.
Right.
I try to leave it all at the altar, and it's hard to do. It was hard to do for me in the past, but now it's not as difficult. It's actually easy. When you learn to just, when you feel that burden to just say, I'm not going to think about it anymore, and not feel guilty not
Right.
thinking about it, because you feel
Mhm.
like, well, if I love them, that means that, no, I love them so much, I'm going to give them to God. What better way
Right.
you can show love to someone? And I'm going to give that to God, and I'm going to pray on it, and I'm going to leave it there. So I do that a lot. I
Right.
communicate often. I always try new things. That's how I help my mental health. So whether it be a new skincare regime, I like to take care of my skin. I like to
Yeah.
listen to music in the house. I put on jazz. I'm like, everyone tells me I'm like a 60-year-old white man. I'm gonna tell you the truth, because I like classical music, and I'll put on this,
Okay.
and before I would drink like a bourbon, but I don't drink anymore. Well, not bourbons, but I would just, I like to just do what feels good to me, and
Yeah.
not try to be too hard on myself, or try to keep up this thing, this facade. I'm not, people see me and they, oh, you're so strong. I'm not. I have moments where I look at myself like, oh my God, people would just see me now. But I know that my strength is from God. And so
Right.
that keeps me motivated. And so if I were to say what I use for my mental health, I would say communicating to people I love and care for, with often, and trying new things, listening to different music, dancing, running. If it's, I've always wanted to skydive. Go do
Right.
it. Why
Yeah.
not try it?
Try something
So
new. Yeah.
try something new. I think that, and take care of yourself, what you eat, get enough rest, drink enough water. It's all things in our reach. So yeah.
Wow. So several things.
Yes.
Communication is key. Communication is so key to your mental health and well-being. Talking and having the right people to talk to, and not
Absolutely.
only talking to people from what you said, but talking to God. And you said
Mhm.
something really important about a peace. And while you were talking, a scripture came to me that the kingdom of God is righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Ghost. And then another
Mm.
came to me that says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. So they were all adding up when you said about peace and joy. So you found all of that in terms of it helps your mental health. So you're not only physical, you didn't go to the physical bits of it. You went to the spiritual communication as well. Physically spending time and then spiritually spending time. And then you do other physical stuff, learn something new, go skydiving, do other things to keep on top of the pressure that you might feel running this amazing clothing line. Perfect. So if you are as busy and as challenged as Jamielle, you know, you would need to take care of yourself. That's her message. To take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. You know, learn something new, do something different, talk to the people around you. Do not have anything bottled up inside of you. Ensure that you are able to say it. Find a safe space to have that discussion. And they often say, so it's nothing that we're making up. You know, they say that prayer is also good for those who believe in prayer. So say a prayer. Say a prayer. Right. So we're going to move to our next question.
If you don't have anybody to talk to yourself. I do that a lot too. I'll talk to myself and say, boy, Jamielle, you kind of drop the ball. Like, come on, girl. And I'll do that. And my kids look at me like, but
because, you know, in Jamaican culture, they say, oh, you're getting crazy if you talk to yourself.
No, they say you don't crazy unless you answer yourself.
Oh, yeah,
but you can talk to yourself, man.
Okay, I'm good on that one. Yeah, and sometimes you have to affirm, and it's funny you should say that because we want to say here as well. But when you're talking to yourself, ensure that you're not being hard on yourself and negative. Not negative talking to yourself, but just look at the positive, look at the what went well and the even better if. No negative thought talking to yourself. So, you know, that will help you. What went well today? Because it's the truth. What went well? Even better if I did this and that and that. And so you have that right standing to move to the next thing or to revisit that thing and make it a success the way you wanted it the first time around. Perfect. So that's you, but you are now just in your family as the wife and mom.
Yes.
How do you, and you're running this business, so your family is caught in your business as well, which can be a lot on them, running a business, getting your time and attention. How do you help them, your children and your husband, to take care of their mental health and wellness? It's not only mental health, the general mental health and wellness in the home.
I think it's kind of the same how I take care of myself. What I do to me, I do to others, right? Treat others like how you treat you. So we communicate a lot in here. We'll have family meetings and try to figure out what's on our minds, what's going on, how are we feeling. We'll address an issue. And then we all try new things together and we worship together. I keep it simple. And I think if it works here for me, why not let it work with my family? And not try to, you know, so it's kind of how we do it. How I treat me is how I treat them. Does it always work? Because they may not always be as receptive as I will be, but it doesn't always work. But you keep trying again, just as you said. We have to be hopeful for what were the two key words you said? If it's not now, then what
went well and even better if. Some colleagues somewhere are going to see this and laugh. They're going to be like, truly, you didn't.
I'm writing that down. What went well and even better.
I can see their face like she didn't. Did she just do that? I did. You know yourselves and are watching. I did.
Well, what even better is, okay, it didn't work out today. Let's try it again tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. And, you know, just being grateful and being grateful. Try to be grateful for small things. I try to teach that a lot in my family. Gratitude, and while teaching it, it's helping me because I need to be reminded at times. So yeah, it's what works for me.
So coming together, working as a unit, talking, doing the things. Absolutely. And you said something important, the things that you would do for yourself, you do for them. And I suppose in communicating, they will tell you their own things that will make them happy. And so you guys work it out and find a middle ground and stuff like that. And that's important because sometimes individuals are in families and they are isolated within the family. So they're doing their one goal and nobody knows what's happening and they're taking care of themselves and what they want to achieve. And it's not that they hate their family. It's not that I think that's the journey from communicating what's happening for them now to the rest of the household and getting people on board And so you're
That's so
doing an
great.
absolutely fantastic job in ensuring that everybody, listen, I'm building my clothing line, but I'm not leaving my family behind, basically. I'm not neglecting them just to be able to do this. And so we're so happy. We're so happy, you know, that everybody is happy. One of the things we do here is that we teach a course where we help people to understand their maximum potential. So you're helping your family with their mental health, your own mental health. Well, how do you help everyone else to, along with yourself, to fulfill your full potential? Or I want to remove the word potential and put purpose, your full potential. How do you get for yourself and for your family?
Being honest with each other, and just sharing insights. My family is very good at correcting each other. That's just, we're always like, oh, if you had done that, but they're just being helpful.
Right.
We're very helpful. My husband's like, oh, if you had done it this way, but then you're like, well, I didn't do that way, I did it this way. But he's just trying to be helpful.
Right.
So I think it's just being able to be honest with each other at who we are, where we are, and just loving each other there, you
Right.
know. So remind me of your question, because my
Helping
mind
your
is thinking.
family to receive their, to get to their full potential, you and your family to get to their full potential.
Encouragement. We encourage each other often. Just as much as we try to help and correct, we try to encourage.
Right.
We try to play often, because I feel like we have a lot of kids in our household right now. Our children are 9 and 2, so a lot of our activities as a family involves
Right.
playing. And it's helpful because we see when my son, who's 9 now, who I think a lot of our life lessons will mean more to, because the 2-year-old is
Right.
like ABCD,
Yeah.
he doesn't. But the 9-year-old, he's very wise, and nowadays kids, they know more than they should because of things
Right.
they're seeing and things other kids are saying. I can't control what his friends are saying. So I try to be honest with him so that he can come to me with anything, and that's
Right.
kind of how we get purpose driven and on the same track. With my husband, he's very goal oriented, so we try to work together, communicate, write things down. Just a lot of openness, honesty, communication. Once again, I think that's what we've been doing so far to really stay purpose driven. Let them know where I am with my business, what's next,
Right.
what's on the calendar. My husband will share the same. Because when you don't, it gets really chaotic.
Right.
You know, he has plans for something, I have plans for something, and then you find out last minute, and then usually it's left in the mom's hands. Come on, moms. Usually it's left in the mom's hands to try to figure it out. Like, okay, well, I need to,
Yeah.
and that gets you like really overwhelmed. And no one is at peace in that moment. So I think the solution is, hey, what does your week look like? Let's talk about it. Let's write it down. Hey, my son's name is Czar. What do you foresee for yourself? How can we help you to get there? And he'll tell me, what is it that you want to try? Is there any new sports you like? What do you want to do? Is there instruments you want to play? And he'll say, oh yeah, I want to try this, I want to try that. And right now we can't afford to do that. So let's put it on our goal list. We've done vision boards together. That's something I wanted us to do for the New Year's, because then I get to see what everyone wants, and then we can kind of talk about it, see how we can get, to stay encouraged. And if something doesn't work out, say, hey, what can we try? What new thing can we try? And I think trying new things is also that allows us to open the door to when things fail, okay, let's try something. Let's try something new. And it doesn't have to be a new lane. It could just be a new approach to that same thing. Let's see, maybe my approach was different. Maybe I was doing it on my own strength and not with God's strength. And God wants to turn back so I can use his strength, because there was something to learn. So we just try to be encouraged, and it doesn't always work. We're not always on top of it, but we do a good job. We do the best we can.
And that's the message. The message is, because we're humans, everything doesn't work exactly like perfect all the time. But fulfilling your potential is actually being able to know what it is that you are supposed to be doing or what you would like to do. Because a lot of people, you can see their natural gift and ability, and sometimes you can't see it yet. It is something else that they're doing that they, when they discover that this is actually my natural gift and ability. And so what you say with your children, where you say, okay, what would you want to do? Because it could be that he wants to go snowboarding or something, and through that you realize that he could be an Olympic rower or something like that. So it is important that within our lifetime we fulfill our potential or our purpose, and that, you know, if we're in a family unit, or even if we're not in a family unit, to borrow some of those tips, you know, make a vision board, talk to yourself or your family and say, what would I like to do? What, you know, what do I know naturally to do? And then explore it. And then you're able to then see, you will get the direction in which you should be going.
Absolutely.
The direction for your family, the direction for you if you don't have a family, to see the direction in which you should be going, to be able to really achieve your full potential. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So you said you had little kids. We all know what little kids are like. What are your parents, if you can give us a parenting tip that absolutely works for you?
Parenting tips that work for me are to pay attention. Pay attention to the needs of your family and your children, and be realistic. Be realistic. Don't assume, ask questions. Be encouraging and have structure. You need structure. Even if it is structure that doesn't feel like it, know that there be a regime. So we know this needs to be done. There's a flow. You need to have a flow. If you don't, it's just all over the place. There's 4 different personalities, or how many, however big your family is, 1 or 2 personalities, and you guys have to be on the same flow. So I would say structure, pay attention, don't assume, ask questions, and laughter, you know, play often, laugh a lot. Those are some tips I would say for parenting.
Okay. So children have to have some kind of structure, you're saying.
Absolutely.
Some kind of structure in their lives, whether it looks organized to them or it's organized to you, you know, because if you're the organizer, it will be organized for you. So it just seems like it's flowing with them, but it's organized to you. So you can not be a control freak, but manage the situation. Like everybody is, you know, would be able to participate. Everybody's needs met. Everybody can be heard, with some sort of structure. It's not a willy-nilly parenting. If you want to eat ice cream today, you can eat ice cream, and then tomorrow we're going to eat rice and peas, and then tomorrow we're going to have spaghetti bolognese, and whatever happens and whoever happens and whatever happens. It just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like you're saying. It's just some kind of structure that everybody knows what's happening, even if it doesn't appear to be structure. You have to have some kind of structure. You said something important, laughter. Because so many times, and especially, you know, I'm not saying everybody like you, but you're busy trying to you're not even busy trying to build a business. You have a business built already. And, you know, you're getting clients after clients and more clients and more clients. And you want to keep that. You want to continue being successful. And sometimes that can rob families from the laughter that they can have. So you saying paying attention to your child, you are not, you know, putting, though it is the bread and butter for you, you recognize the importance of, you know, this is my business, but also when if it's not here, I need this is my family, and I need to be able to communicate with them, talk to them, and be able to laugh with them. And so many memories you build as a family when you are just an individual through laughter.
Oh, yes.
So many situations change. So you can be feeling down, and just a little bit of laughter, happiness, a cheer, a little bit of joy changes the whole thing. And especially now, and I just want my takeaway from it is, especially now during COVID, where the children are at home, they miss their friends too. They want to go to school too. They don't want to be in a pandemic too, like you. So if you snap at them and you don't laugh with them and you don't talk to them, can you imagine what's happening in their heads? Can you imagine what they're going through? So we just want to encourage you to spend time talking to your children, making some kind of structure, laugh with them, play with them, you know. Yes, we're in the middle of a pandemic, things are hard, but let's get back to that basic thing where we can just enjoy. It's free. We don't have to go and buy, do it for anything. It's just absolutely free. Laughter is free.
And your face look nicer when you laugh anyway.
Yes, 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 yes. So, you know, bring back the laughter tonight, tomorrow, tomorrow morning, this morning, whichever time zone you're watching this in. Bring back the laughter. The laughter has come out of your house. The communication has come out of your house. Bring back the laughter, bring back the communication, and bring it back with your children, with everybody. And if you're single and watching this, bring it back with yourself. Bring back the laughter. We just want to encourage you, bring back the laughter.
Yeah, laugh, man. We need to laugh more.
Yes.
People are too uptight. They're taking things too serious.
Yeah. They can't, you know, once when you go to the shop, you could talk to somebody. Now with COVID, you don't want to talk to anybody. You're this much apart and you don't want to talk to. So forget about even laughing. Forget about even laughing.
Even laugh, right?
But let's bring back the laughter. Let's bring back the laughter to the whole situation that we're facing, because we just want to ensure that, you know, we just want to continue to live. Right. So, wow, you are doing, you know, all these things, and you are managing yourself, and you're managing all this lovely stuff. Right. So what is it that you do? Because you are, you know, running a business, your personal and social development, because you're a mom. You're not locked in that box. You have to grow. And as a creative director, you know, just the word creative says that you're always doing something new. So what do you do how do you grow for your personal and social development? Because I suppose you would, you know, creativity isn't static. It is not stationary. It moves and flows. So what is the source? How do you help that creativity in you? What's your personal and social development?
I like to keep myself stimulated through the arts, and whether it be through reading. I love to watch films. I love music. I love art. I haven't been to a museum in a while, but when I moved to California, I think I visited every single museum here. I'm just so fascinated by art. And going to fashion school, that's where my love started, because I got to learn more about art, like realism, you know, surrealism. There's so many different types of art out there. And just the way what the artist was trying to depict through some Egyptian arts, and learn about like deity and what does that. I was just so intrigued, because I'm a storyteller. I love writing. And I do that through my clothing. So that's what helps me to stay creative and always wanting to see what's new. And I love nature. Nature to me, I think, is the first inspiration, because I think the first artist, the colors, we got it all from what God already did. He already painted the earth. He already did sometimes you see some bushes together and you see green and orange. You're like, that's just so pretty. You know, no floral arrangement is as beautiful as God's artwork.
Wow.
And we're inspired by it. And I get inspired by it. So I get inspired by nature, seeing how colors work together, and I try to do it with my work. Or I sketch often. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always learning. I'm always on Pinterest, pinning boards and creating different this. And I love interior decorating. That's some source of inspiration for me as well, because nowadays interior decorating is just so elevated. It's not just what you thought. It's like now they've come up with these beautiful tiles and how they mix textures, and I'm just fascinated about that stuff.
Yes.
I look at that stuff every single day, and I get inspired by it. I have a different idea, and I'll jot down this idea. I'm always trying to think of a new innovative way to represent my brand. What hasn't been done? How can I challenge the status quo? How can I bring people's awareness here? What do I want to say? I think now, as I've gotten more deeper in Muma, I've realized the importance of what is it that I want to say, because I'm getting so many people's attention now. People have been reaching out to me from all over the place, all over California, outside of California, making purchases. And I'm like, well, what do I want to say? And now that has also inspired what I put in my packaging when I send to a customer, and different things they can pin. I have a friend who pinned one of my images that I put in her shipping package on her vision board because she liked the image and what it said. And I thought, oh, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. I felt so excited when she did that. And she didn't even tell me. I was in her house and I saw it and I was like, wow. And then I thought, well, I could make use. What words will I let people read when they open this? And, how can God use me here? So now my creativity has more so gone from trying to be outlandish with the most extravagant looks, but to what do I want to say? What am I
Right.
saying? When I leave, what will be left? You know, um, and so I've been very intentional, and I now get creative through reading the Bible because now the words that I've read are now in me and what I live, and that's what I would put in writing on, in different ways. And I'm just always learning. That's how I stimulate myself. I always am learning,
Wow.
small and large, Google anything. I'm on YouTube just trying to learn something.
Wow, you were talking and several things came out at me. Several things came out at me. The first thing is using nature as the base for creativity. Wow. You know, because I do know people, and probably I was that person because, sometimes I hate going outside. Sometimes I love going outside, but I know some people I hate going outside.
Yeah.
It appears as if we need to be going outside. I know we're in a pandemic, but we can still go for a walk.
Oh
We can
yes.
still go for a walk. We can still go and view nature and
Nothing
just
like some
look at.
cool breeze and a nice walk, man.
Yes,
Huh?
yes. So
Yeah.
reconnect with nature. If you're watching, it's one of the things that's coming out to me. Reconnect with nature. Get there, reconnect with nature, and just go out and enjoy that. It can be stimulating, and you're saying that you always learn, and that's one of the things we want to keep happening. We want to learn something new, whether it's a structured course, or us, as you say, just watching a program on interior decorating. I'm looking at textiles. I never forgot, I knew someone, I still know her, who said she wanted to be an interior decorator. And her father said, no, no. At the time, at the era, he thought it was just going into people's houses and just putting up curtains.
Mm.
Oh, I'm gonna send you to all that school, go into people's house and put up curtains. He didn't understand. She eventually she went and studied graphic arts. But if she had just originally gotten to do what she wanted to, I'm just thinking, hearing you talk, if she had originally gotten to do what she wanted to do. So it's a
Yeah.
matter of, just being able to learn. It's
You
not
can
too
build a
late to start
future.
learning.
I'm sorry to cut you. I'm sorry. Well, while you're talking, you can build a future with anything,
Yes.
with anything that you're passionate about, anything that you love. If you're going to pour into it every day, you can build a future from it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Pest control started because someone said, I want to get rid of all the bugs in people's homes
Right.
for them. And I'm pretty sure the first time someone heard, they're like, okay. And look at it now. There's several of them. We
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
them.
To the
Of
a
course, even
cleaning
if they're
company.
rushed,
Yeah.
pest control,
Yeah.
So it's like it just started with a silly idea, but it's something that people needed. Because if you come
Yes.
with something that people don't need, all right, you're selling oxygen. I can get that, but
Listen, and there are oxygen companies, and especially with the COVID, God forbid, and we don't want to, we
true.
want to say for everybody who's lost somebody, you're in our prayers. But oxygen companies
Oh
out
yes.
there,
Oh yes.
yeah,
You can do anything. Look at the needs of what the world where we are and pour into it. Look at where we're
pour
going,
into
pour
it.
into it.
Perfect. So you shouldn't limit yourself. And
Absolutely not.
it's that what you've done is you haven't limited yourself. You've learned, you explore, you go to nature, you look at other things, and you look at other things that because somebody would be like, what does tiling have to do with clothing? I love that, the fact that you're able to go over to somewhere else, but then able to bring it back into your clothing. And what I
Oh yeah.
absolutely love is the life that you are giving. We're big on life here. We're big on life here. But the absolute life that you're giving to your customers through your words, the wording on the clothes, or it's
Yeah.
clothing, or whatever it is that you're putting into their package. the absolute life that you're breathing into them. We are so happy because now more than ever we need that. And you could be, and I'm glad that you said that, you know, and you're not ashamed that you said some of the inspiration that you get is having the word of God in you. Because it is good to read the word of God. You know, the inspirational stuff are in there, life-changing things are in there. Because what it has proven is that, you know, you have taken this on, you've taken on nature, you've taken on learning other things, you know, from other areas, and then to incorporate them all and just to breathe life into the words that you create. And what I like, what's impressive about you is the fact that you said, okay, I have a natural gift for making clothes, but I like writing too. So I'm going to put both together. And so you're making clothes that people like, and you're writing stuff with the clothing, on the clothing, or putting in the packages that will
Can I share something with
breathing
you
life.
too?
Yes.
I've actually always battled with writing and designing, and I'll be quick. But I always wanted to write. When I started designing, as I shared the story how it came about, and this happened recently, and I felt God had put it on my heart to share it. God first led me to design. Just how it happened, it had to be a divine direction, and I did it. And it's brought me to where I am. And through designing, I started writing more, because before I was just writing journals since I was little. And in high school, I went to a high school in Jamaica, Immaculate Conception High, and I had a teacher there who would always, my English teacher, she was just always on me because I would write stories in her class, and I think she saw something in me. And she was just always making sure I do my work. No teacher was doing that for me. No teacher even could care less about what I was doing, but this English teacher. And she forced me to do those assignments, which helped. And then years later, as I started doing designing, writing came about again, and I started writing poetry and performing poetry. So I started feeling like, oh, maybe this is my purpose. And I started leaning more towards wanting to write. And I even said to myself recently, I'm going to put down design for a while, and I'm just going to write, because I want to write a book, and I want to do this, I want to write. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to write. And then everybody kept asking, I put up this order for something, this design, and everybody kept trying to get that design. And my husband, coworkers, like, oh, I want this order. So people kept placing orders for me to sew. And I had to just, and everything in my writing, it's not that it was stagnant, but it wasn't, nothing was leading me to it. I was just there and wanting it. But I was realizing I'm asking God, and he's not saying anything, but he's saying something about the design. And then I thought, I just had to laugh, and I was like, God, you want me to sew. You want me to sew. Maybe the writing is not for right now. And I had to learn that when God reveals things to you, it doesn't mean it's for right now. He's like, where I put you, focus here. The writing is something that's in you, and it's gonna happen. Slow down. Keep designing. And then I thought, well, I want to write so bad. And then my husband and I were talking, and he's like, why don't you put your poetry on your clothes? So I recently did a loungewear, and I put poetry on the loungewear. So now I have clothing with writing. So God was saying, you wanted this book, and that's not what I'm trying to have you do. And my husband wore that to work, and everybody was like, oh, I want one. So no, more orders are coming in for this. And the writing thing was just, God was just like, you know, so God had to show me, not right now, right? Not because I give it to you doesn't mean it's for right now. I showed it to you, but keep working on what, and so that's also pay attention to what God is giving us in our lives, like what he keeps opening his hands for, and where you find that he's not. And that takes relationship too with God, to trust and know this is from God. Because I can tell you so many stories of how he kept putting fashion back in my life. Every time I tried to put it down, he's like, somebody would just call me out of the blue. Oh, I needed to be a part of this fashion show. Oh, but I don't want to do it. Please, you don't have to pay. Do it for free. And I'm like, okay, God. He keeps putting me there. The other day I had to say, fine. Okay. God, I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to work on you, but this is where you want me. Yes. And this is what I'm going to do. And I can still do what I love and incorporate in it, but I have to be obedient.
We just want to say hi to all the ladies of Immaculate Conception High School in Kingston. You know, because we love our mottos, don't we? We love our mottos. We just love our mottos. And so what came out at me when you were talking, this is jumping out, yes. And my takeaway is that you don't only get one gift. Some people only get one gift, one talent, one ability. But sometimes, so check for that second gift that the Lord is trying to show you, or, you know, that second gift that's coming to you naturally or being placed on you. Because, you know, if it looks like it could be that you have this second gift somewhere in you, and the first and the second gift can work together. They can work isolated. Absolutely. And they can work together, as in what you're doing now, we're putting what, you know, your gifts of words onto clothing. What I really want to say is don't stop your gift flow. Don't stop, you know. If you are watching this and thinking, but I have these things and I want to write the book now and I want to do this now, as Jamielle is saying, slow down. Slow down. Focus, give all your energy on this one first gift, while tending to the other lightly. I mean, it's not a hard and fast, you know, rule that we're saying, but she's saying that, you know, both things that came to her, because what people do is they want to do this and want to do that, and they're torn, and so they end up doing nothing. And what we're trying to say is do something. Start with one, and then when that builds, use the other, do the other one, and then it could be like her. You're blessed enough to incorporate the both and do. So my takeaway is start with what I have, at least start with one and build that, and then see how I can incorporate any other talent. What I like though is the fact that you recognized your talent. You recognized it for what it is. And we just want to encourage that person that's watching, you know, revisit yourself and see if you can identify your talent or talents. See if you can identify them. Sorry, because what we've realized with talking to Jamielle is that once you know what your talents are, you can work on them and they can work for you. She's the perfect example. So have that conversation with yourself again. Dig that old drawing book, journal, something out. Look at what you're doing now and say, listen, can I recognize my talents? Or my talent, or, you know, and I personally believe you have more than one talent as a person, because you're just not one thing. And so we just want to encourage you to do that. It's working for Jamielle. It's working for Jamielle. It can work for you too. Right, beautiful. Oh, yeah. So we love this artwork, this poetry on art on your clothing. We like the line because, you know, it is really inspiring. And your service is one that's bespoke, so people can just probably even tell you their words if they possibly wanted their words on their stuff, you know, to go there. So we're quite happy about that. And the fact that your client could pin that thing that you put in her box upon her own vision board speaks volumes to the kind of inspiration, you know, because we think it's just clothes, but it's not just clothes. You're actually changing the way they feel about themselves, and we're so happy about that. We're just so thrilled. Right. So we want to move to our next question with Jamielle. So Jamielle, you are a business owner, and so you have to, as a mom in your household, you have to manage money, and a lot of life's problems comes with money. So we're not asking your net worth or your business net worth or anything like that. We just want for you to we just would like for you to leave with us some sound household and business financial tips.
Make money a language in your house. Talk about it. When I grew up, I only heard when we don't have enough of it or when we want it. I never understood anything else about money. And I had to learn the hard way, right? When you get little money, it's on food, they start buying everything, and then you realize, but I'm hungry now, I bear clothes and things, but I can't eat them, and them can't help me pay my bills. You know, and then you had to just get a reality check and realize, okay, I need to have some discipline here. So then I need to know, understand how to speak money. Money is a language. And unfortunately, our community as Black people, we didn't really get any, there was no door open for us to learn that. We had to learn it our own way. And When we tried to learn it, they pulled us back down. So now we're like catching up.
Can I just stop
But
you there, Jamie? When you say make it a language, can you just break it down for somebody who's watching to say, what do you mean make money a language, a practical term to make money a language?
sure. So when I say make money a language, I mean, we know language is a way of communicating,
Right,
right? We need to be able to understand money so we can know how to make money serve us.
right,
Um, So what that means is I need to understand interest rates. I need to understand when I put my money here, what's happening to my money.
right,
I need to understand that, oh, I can do stock and I can earn. I need to understand about that. There's a
right,
world of things that money drives, and we think money, we think things, clothes, and money's, money can serve us. Money can be
right,
an investment. Money can be you can put down money, and we can earn through that. We could make our money, we could make money in our sleeps if we understood money and how it works, and understand that you have to spend money to make money. But we
right,
have to also understand that it's how much money you're spending. You're not going to spend more than you have, but
right.
you got to spend some of it.
Yes,
But what you're spending it on is now comes through the literacy, through understanding, okay, I know this is going to serve me to put my money here. This is what I'm going to do with it. I really want to get that thing over there, but does that really serve me? No, I'm going to put it where it serves me. And that's what I mean when I say you have to spend money to make money. You want to sell, you want to make some money, mega buy, you have to buy, like you see somebody who sell goods, foods, whatever the case may be. They have to buy a bunch of those goods to then add a little on that to get back what they spent and more to gain profit, right? So you have to spend money to make money. So like that's what I meant when I say the language of money.
right,
I'm still learning the language of money, to
right,
be very honest with you. Um, and I'm looking for someone to teach me. That is the room that you're in. Who, like, I'm not going to go and confide in someone who doesn't have a lot of money to help me with money, because realistically, someone who don't have a lot of money or doesn't understand to spend money can't help me.
right,
I'm gonna, can't turn to the blind to lead you. So I now have to be in rooms with people who, okay, who understands money. Oh, my cousin, she's a good saver. Let me see what I can learn from her. Or this
right,
person, let me see what I can learn from them. Like, figure out, money is a taboo. Nobody likes to talk about it. People feel like they have to keep hush hush about money. Even when you go for a job, sometimes we're afraid to ask what we want,
salary,
right? Why is that? You come in to put in this work, and then you come and you realize you lowball this stuff, everybody getting more than you. Vex is
right,
your fault, because you
right,
should understand money. You should know what that role pays
right,
and
valued,
offer
yeah,
to them. Let them say, let them come with, and I always hear, never be the first one to tell the price. Because someone said that to me, a teacher said that to me before. Because you might go into an interview and you're like, well, how much money are you willing to get paid for this job? And you go say, I'll take 100,000. And in their back of their mind, they wanted to pay whoever is coming to the job 150. If you're gonna say, oh, we wanted to give you what, they're gonna say, well, that we can do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
reasonable.
wow,
And in their mind, you know what I mean? So hear what they come with first before
yes,
probably give a low ball. They're the ones providing the pay. Hear what they want before you
what
start
they
to
have to
name.
offer, yes,
At that point, no, you can say, if they say something, you can then say, well, I anticipate a little more than that, or maybe what you thought would be less, and you're like, okay, you know what I mean? So
right,
it's about, those are things that I want to learn, and I'm trying to get myself more around people who talk about money daily, who are spending, whose money is making money for them and earning. And not everyone's fortunate to have those people, but use what you have. As I say, we have a cousin who always does save our money, and she's really good at it. Go to the cousin and say, "I want to learn how to do that. Teach me what you do. How you do that? Ask questions about money. Don't make money taboo. If you
wow,
don't have it, make it more something that's spoken of."
yes, yes, wow. I'm just thinking, as usual, so many things we're talking about, to make money a language. And the bit that really stood out was the fact that people only come into contact with money when they either want to buy, they don't have enough of it, or are so they say, I don't have any money, and then when they do get it, then they just want to buy something with it. And it could be that we need to rest the money. So when it comes into our hands, let it just rest there a little while before we let it go, and think about where we're going to let it go to. Think about it. And while it's resting,
like potato, like
yeah, right. Because you're never going to have any money if it's like hot potato. The hot potato doesn't stay in your hand. So let the money rest there and think, okay, how can I ensure, how can I stop always wanting this money? This money that's resting here on this table, how can I use it to ensure that I'm not always wanting for money? So then you're right. You might realize that you have all these clothes and you can't eat clothes. So you might think, okay, I don't need that new pair of, trainers, sneakers, running shoes, whatever you call it in 5 different countries. I've had to try to figure out, what do they call it this now? Whatever, sneakers, whatever it is. I might not need this new pair of sneakers. So what can I put this money to? My friends have this new pair of sneakers, but I don't need it because I have 10 already. So where else can I put this money? And you know what, Jamielle, I've come to realize some people who say they don't have money have more money than they actually think and know. They have whether they run a business or it's just their personal, salary, they have far more money if they would reevaluate, if they will look at what they're spending their money on, like what you're saying, or if they would go to that cousin and say, listen, you've been saving for a while, can you show me how to do it? Or if they would just understand their value, the value that they're taking to a job, and say, listen, I'm going in with this salary and I'll hear what they have to say. And I love that tip, hear what they have to say. And then from what you know your worth, don't be overly ambitious when you know that's not for you. But if you definitely know your worth and your skill, you can take that with you and to say, listen, I have done this X, Y, Z or Z, depending on which country, and I know what I'm worth and I'm looking for this when they start talking. And it's a really good tip, because some people go, I took the job and then now I find out it is 20,000. I wanted 30, I'm worth 30. So and here's another thing I got from what you're saying, your skill as a professional, as anybody, once you're going to work for someone, it is still valuable and it can still make money for you. Your salary is actually you making money for you. So know your worth as an employee. Know your worth, know what that job, that position that they're putting you in is worth, to say, actually, no, I don't think this position that you're giving me, this is the money that I'm worth. And because I can give you this and so much more. So make money a language, talk it, don't be afraid of it. Don't always make it like hot potato. It comes into one hand, leaving the other. Rest it for a little while. Rest it for a little while. And one of the things I like about what you said is the fact that, I'm taking from it, no matter how little or amount of money you have, you can rest a little bit of it. You can, because that cousin that was saving, she was just resting a little bit. She didn't have any big banking financial advisor role. She didn't, know everything about hedge fund. She just knew the art of just taking a little bit out of that $1 or £1, and just taking that 10 cents and just putting it together all the time. So there are people around you with sound financial advice that you can just look around to get the help. Make money and language in your business, make money and language in your normal life. That don't make, listen, this is my slogan now, don't make money hot potato.
Don't make money hot potatoes.
Don't make it like hot potato. Let it rest a little while. Take it in, rest a little while, and then look at how, when it's resting in front of you, think, how can I make this work for me? And as you say, start talking to people who are like-minded. Because if you are trying to make the money rest and somebody's saying, no, the new sneakers are here, the new trainers are here. No, hot potato. We gotta go get it.
You're not gonna have the money.
Yeah, you're gonna have a problem. You're going to have a problem, a massive problem. Oh, we're coming to the end of our interview. We don't want it to end, as usual. Oh my God, I just really love this. Don't make money hot potato. I love it. So we're coming to our end with the creative, the beautiful, the talented Jamielle Rankine-Kirlew of Muma. She's a creative director and she is the CEO. You're going to find all of Jamielle's information in our description box. Like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share that. Share that money is not like hot potato. You know, share it, share it. It's not like hot potato. And it's a Jamielle said, Jamielle said, money's not like hot potato. So we like what you're doing, Jamielle. We absolutely like what you're doing. You're continuing to persevere in the midst of a global pandemic, and with hope and breathing in life, and changing the face of things, putting this slant on the word Muma, incorporating all ethnicities and all parts of other people's culture to breathe life into that womanly, that motherly feeling. And it's not only for mothers. If you're a woman, you can wear Muma's clothing. You can. It's there, just that essence of being a woman. And she said, she creates stuff for men as well. So our last thing is, you would have gotten here. You've said about a teacher or someone that has poured into you, that has mentored you, and that has given back to you. How does Jamielle and Muma give back?
Oh, wow. I give back by giving my time. I serve as a mentor, volunteer, an instructor at a shelter for women who are homeless and pregnant. And everything that I've learned throughout my years, through my times in Jamaica, when things weren't always as great, when I had to go to bed hungry sometimes, when I didn't love myself. And now where I am today, I try to give back in that way to those women, and I meet with them once or twice a month. I've been doing that now for 6 years.
Wow.
It's been such a reward for me. So that's how I give back in that way. I love to work with youths. I have a passion for young people because they're our future. If we can just pour into them and kind of make them realize their value, and take them out of that box, wow, they grow up and they're going to be our future. So it sounds cliche, but it's true.
It is.
And I try to give back by mentoring young girls. God has just placed a lot of young girls in my life, like through their mothers, who have just said, "Hey, can you just talk to my daughter?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then another one, "Hey, my daughter loves what you're doing. Can you just help her? Can you teach?" And I've been doing that, and I incorporated into making it a sewing class. So I teach young girls, young children how to sew, and just different ways how to be confident and love themselves. And I try to find ways to let them realize God is cool. Like, don't make God cool, but God is like the coolest.
He is.
I let them know. And so that's how Muma gives back in that way. And I hope to do more. Eventually, I'd love Muma to be an art institute for kids.
We can agree. We're going to agree with you on that. We're going to agree with you on that. Yes.
Pray on it, guys.
Yes.
And I want it to be in Jamaica and in the States or wherever else in the world, but I definitely want to help my Jamaican youths and give them an outlet to learn arts and learn different traits and find ways how they can make their gifts serve not only themselves, but the world, and provide opportunities for them. So that's where I'd love Muma to go and where it will go. I know
we
it
agree.
will. And now it's out there.
Yes, we agree. We agree.
Let me say what Jesus says.
Nobody can say no. Nobody can say.
So that's how Muma gives back, and any other way that I can, I try to, through my time, through my words, through my lessons, and through my journey in Christ.
Wow, fantastic! Wow, we love when people give back. We love changing the face of the next generation, because even if we're helping an adult, we're still putting something in them that will change the face of how the generation looks, because that adult will pour into some young person at some point. And these women in the shelters, wow, fantastic job in bringing hope and bringing life to them. And what I particularly like is the fact that you were doing this long before the pandemic. And we just want to encourage you, if you have the space and time to be able to give back, to share. Jamielle is sharing her lesson in her sewing. She what I like about it is that you're not selfish, you're unselfish. You didn't want, well, I'm not teaching you how to sew. I'm not teaching you how to use a machine. You know, I'm the only clothing person around here. You recognize that, you know, it's a talent and a skill that God has given a few people on earth, not me, definitely not me. Yeah, definitely not me, but somebody has to have it, but it's not me. And so you recognize that God has imparted this in you, and then you recognize when he's imparted it in the next person like you to help them. And I really like that. That's fantastic. That's awesome. And even if there's somebody who comes like me who's just trying to learn, like how I had to learn how to make face masks during the pandemic, and I probably made 2 and then gave up. I don't, you know, it took me about 3 days to learn how to, I was going to say string. I'm not sure if I'm using the right term, string my machine or thread my machine. Yes. And I had to watch several YouTube videos.
Okay.
So I don't have that gift. So I really am happy that you are giving back. You're understanding the position that Muma is in to be able to help change the face of a generation. And we salute you. We commend you for it. Because in giving, you are actually helping yourself and helping the next generation. We want to thank you so much. We like what you're doing. Keep on going. We just, you know, favor, blessing. Keep going, keep doing, keep growing, learning, and doing the things that you're doing. And, you know, let us know when it becomes an institute. Ding us, you know. Send us a bell, ring us, email us something when you become your institute, because it's not very many days hence that will happen. Yeah. We just want to thank you so much. Today we spoke with the beautiful, the innovative, the talented Jamielle Rankine-Kirlew from Muma. She hails out of California. You can find all of her details to contact her, to see her work, to buy her product in our description box. This is Thoughts. My name is Trudy, and it's a mindful conversation we've just had with Jamielle about mental health and awareness. And, you know, now you know how she takes care of her mental health and her general wellness as well. And we want to encourage you to take care of your mental health and wellness as well. Please like, share, and subscribe. Jamielle, before we go, is there just one last thing that you didn't get to tell us that you just want to highlight?
Just to say, you are the light of the world, and a town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Remember to shine your light everywhere you go, and don't be discouraged by the noise or by anyone trying to dim your light. Just be bright everywhere you go. God said it. You are the light, not of where you live, not of in your homes, not of at your job, but of the world. Right. So let God use you. Thank you so much for having me, Trudy. I think this is an amazing program. I pray that God will just continue to bring so much favor in this program and let it reach the ears and the eyes of people all over, because what you're doing is amazing. And I know that God is working his way through this and through you so he can work through others. So thank you for the opportunity. I pray that much success will come to you. And hopefully when you have like so many more subscribers and you're all over the world, you won't forget the little people like me.
I know, you're not a little person. Thank you so much for that. You know, I do have to give God all the glory because it's none of my own work. So thank you so much for that. And yes, be the light. Don't let anybody dim your light. Don't let anybody, because some people don't have any light. The light is stumped out of them and they would want to stump it out of you. So just take on that light, take it on, embrace it, and be that light. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the persons who are trying to tell you, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, especially if you know that just that talent and gift that Jamielle was talking about earlier. Let it shine. Yes. Let it shine. Just let it shine and don't stop shining. So we want to thank you. With that said, this is Thoughts, a mindful conversation series about mental health and wellness, and we've just spoken to Jamielle Rankine-Kirlew of Muma. Thank you so much for watching.